Shalom, shalom, Israel's brothers out by y'all. I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. It's going to be a quick cold cut, right? We got 18 days to Passover, right? It's going to be a cold cut, going into, not really worrying about your physical garment too much, but your spiritual garment, man. So it's okay to look good at the Passover. You got your garment, we left out of Egypt, with a different gold, and, we took the, different raiments. And we got that we got from the Egyptians, from spoiling the Egyptians, crowns on our head, which is fine. But this celebrating Passover now, understanding what the Lord did for us, it's more so spiritual, understanding that the Lord is the Passover. We can read about that in 1 Corinthians chapter 5. So now we have to work on our spirit. We got to work on our temple, right? That's the garments that we want to make sure that we are presented, blameless, no stains, no blots on your garment. It will be redundant to go to the Passover. You have your garment on physically. You got the gold, got the girdle to match the garment you got on. Got a crown on your head. You got the ice looking good. You got grills and all of that. It's just fine. Sisters, you got your hair did right, and got the the nice dress on, whatever, right? But your spiritual garment is filthy and is dirty. Let's go to the book of Baruch, chapter 5, and start at verse 1. Put off, O Jerusalem, the garment of thy mourning and affliction, and put on the comeliness of the glory that cometh from God forever. See, that's not physical, right? You can't physically put on the comeliness of the glory that cometh from God forever. You can't physically do that, but you can do that spiritually, right? You can put that on spiritually. You can take off the garment of sin, wickedness, mourning, affliction spiritually. Right? But we got to put on different garments. The Lord said, what? Put on the comeliness of the glory that cometh from God forever, man. Let's go to Isaiah 52:1. And it says, awake, awake. Slakia, awake, awake. Put on thy strength, O Zion. Right? Put on thy strength. You can't go to the store and buy some strength. Right? Can I get a strength garment? And, he gives it to you at checkout. You pay $52.30 for it. Right? For a garment called strength. You don't know. It's spiritual. You want to put on that strength, right? You want to move in that, right? And it says, put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, the holy city, for henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean, man. So we want to put on these garments spiritually. That's what we want to worry about, is putting on these garments spiritually, right? Like I said, there's no sin. You come into Passover, you got your garment right, you got your dress right, all praises, but we want to make sure our spiritual garments is good as well. So Ecclesiastes 9 and 8, real quick. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9 and verse 8, the classic. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse number 8. Let thy garments be always white, and let thy head lack no ointment, right? Read it again. Let thy garments be always white, and let thy head lack no ointment, right? So you want your garments to be always white. This is not talking about you have to wake up and wear a white garment every day. Jake, you got the white pants, got the Gucci belt, got the white polo shirt with the white ones on, white socks. He's white all the way down, white socks hat, right? But you want to have a white garment on spiritually at all times. You don't want any. But remember, we're getting ready for a wedding, a spiritual wedding. And the Lord said we got to have our garments on, man. How much more leading up to Passover, right? And it says, and let thy head lack no ointment, meaning you always have to have that understanding with you as well. All right, let me go to the book of Joshua chapter 3. You want to put off the garments of sin, put off the garments of evilness, right? Wickedness, garments of idolatry. Any garment that you have on that's not white, you got to take that off. Actually, Salaki, not Joshua, Zechariah. That's what I wanted. Let's go to the book of Zechariah, chapter 3. Right? Zechariah, chapter 3. And we'll start at verse 3. Now Joshua was clothed with filthy garments and stood before the angel. And we got to read this spiritually. He had filthy garments on before the angel. Right? And he answered and spake unto those that stood before him, saying, take away thy filthy garments from him. And unto him he said, behold, I have caused thine iniquity to pass from thee, and I will clothe thee with the change of raiment. See, when the Lord gives you mercy like that, allows your iniquity to pass from you, he's going to clothe you with the change of raiment. See, he's not saying, oh, Jonathan, Joshua allowed your sins to be passed. Here's a whole new garment, right? From the mall I bought, from Aeropostale. No, this is a new garment. And meaning, guess what? He's now clean spiritually. He was clothed with filthy garments. As such of us, we're clothed with filthy garments. But if you're allowed to see this Passover from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, that's mercy. If you're allowed to see this Passover and eat of the Passover of the Lord, that's mercy. You want to change those garments. You don't want to have on filthy garments at Passover and the Lord gave you mercy. No, you want to be clothed with the change of raiment. Let's see what he had on, verse 5. And I said, let them set a fair mitre upon his head. So they set a fair mitre upon his head and clothed him with garments, and the angel of the Lord stood by. And guess what? You may have a fair mitre on, spiritual crown, all white garment, right? Looking fresh, man, in the spirit, because that's what matters at the end of the day, especially leading up to this Passover. Let's go to the book of Genesis, chapter 30. Genesis chapter 35. And let's start at verse number 2. Then Jacob said unto his household, and to all that were with him, put away the strange gods that are among you, and be clean, and change your garments. So putting away the strange gods, the strange things that you're struggling with, man, those strange demons that live all in your temple, put those things off. And guess what? Change your garments, man. Change your garments, be clean, be new in the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Let me go to 2 Corinthians chapter 5. And this garment, we want to have one as a new garment, right? Not our old garment, but a new garment, right? This 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse number 17. Therefore, if any man be in Hamashiach, he is a new creature. So if you're a new creature, you got to have a new garment on, man, right? Can't be a new creature in an old garment. For old things are passed away, behold, all things are become new. And you want this garment to be new all the way down to the socks, man, right? But understanding that this Passover is coming up. We got 18 days left. Lord willing, we focus on changing our garments for Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Then we worry about our physical garments. With that, I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, right? Lord willing, you was edified on this mighty quick cold cut. I'd like to say shalom.